So if we haven't met, I'm Jennifer Elliott, and this is VinYin or Vinyasa and Yin, sort of half and half. And today we're working twists and we're working towards side crow, and that may or may not be your pose, but we'll find out when we get there, myself included, how we feel. So if you have a couple of blocks, great. If you don't, you can have a blanket or something you can roll up between your thighs. I have a blanket, and maybe we'll use a strap later. We'll just see how we feel. So we're gonna get started. If you wanna start on 2 blocks, great. I'm gonna start flat with my arms in cactus. We'll sort of do this arm movement a lot today. So I'll just start in Shavasana with those cactus arms. So find your way onto your back. Take a moment here just to get comfortable. If you want the knees bent, you can let your knees fall into one another. And then bending the elbows into those cactus arms. Again, you're welcome to use the blocks if you'd like, but even this, you may feel you really have some opening created across the chest. Let the eyes close. Just take a few moments bringing your attention into this space. We're working through twists today, and twists really allow us to digest. Always on a physical level, we're digesting what we intake. As we move into those deeper layers of the body, we're digesting experiences, thoughts, anything that we bring into the body. Like anything we digest, parts of it we keep for our nourishment. The rest of it we eliminate, no longer needed. And so even this practice, there might be parts that you take with you that really nourish you, and there may be parts that you just leave, no longer needed. Let's start that intake and outtake with our breath. So take a big inhale through the nose. Open the mouth and let it out. Again, in through the nose. Open the mouth and let it out. In through the nose. Hold. Sip a bit more breath in through the nose. Sip a bit more breath in. Open the mouth and let it out. Take an inhale through the nose. Exhale back out the nose. And just have to cultivate your ujjayi breathing now, in through the nose and out. That slight restriction in the back of the throat. We'll take just a couple more breaths here. And as you're continuing this breath, just start to blink your eyes open. Interlace your fingers, turn your palms open, reach them towards the wall behind you. Just get a nice, good stretch, lengthen through the spine. And then bring your arms overhead, change the interlace, we'll call it left index finger on top, and reach the arms back behind you again. Really lengthen through the side body. Great. And then bring your knees into your chest, give yourself a nice hug. If you were on props first, go ahead and remove those, and then curl your forehead up to meet your knees. Let the shoulders rest down the back. All right, so go ahead and lower your head down to the floor. If you have a block or other prop that you can put between the thighs, put that between the thighs so that you have something to hug into. This is going to be helpful for us for the rest of the day. So you can bring your legs into this nice tabletop position, knees over hips. Take a few moments to just really firm those thighs in towards your prop. If there's no prop there, just firm them in together to keep those legs nice and parallel. Interlace your hands under your head like a sit-up. Lift the shoulders. Take an inhale. Exhale. Curl the heart up, navel to the spine. And then inhale, relax. Exhale, curl it up again. Inhale, relax. And just continue that on your own. Exhale. And inhale. And as you continue, you may not really feel like doing a sit-up necessarily right away. That's never really my intention. It's to start to find the axis of the core and more of that core stabilization. So we're using our inner thighs to activate the core and pelvic floor, but we're also really connecting to our breath. So inhale to lower, refill the lungs. Exhale press that stale air out as your navel comes to the spine. Take a few more on your own. All right, and lower the head, pull the knees closer, but you can leave that prop between the thighs, and drop your knees to the left. Just enjoy a nice, simple spinal twist. You can pull that left shoulder blade out from underneath you just a little bit more. And maybe you can take those arms into cactus again. Hug your thighs to the prop, come to center, drop your knees over to the other side. And again, maybe move that right shoulder blade out from underneath you and keep the arms in cactus possibly. Hug your thighs into the prop, come to center, and then take that prop and remove it. Hands under your knees, rock yourself forward and back or however you'd like to come up to seated, and then just cross comfortably at the ankles. Now when you get too comfortable at the ankles, just take your hands on top of your thighs, turn your palms up, and then lift your hands up away, so it's really no hands. Take an inhale, sit tall, and then exhale, drive your navel in and twist your torso to the right, no hands twist. This is one of my favorite twists. Inhale, sit tall, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, continue to revolve to the right by pulling that navel in again. Inhale, tall. Exhale, navel in, revolve to the right. And then place the right hand on the floor behind you, left hand to the right knee. Now take a couple of breaths without using those arms as force. You can root through your base and continue to lengthen on inhale. And exhale, navel into twist. Couple more breaths as you are. And then we want to maintain the twist and see if we can do this with no hands. So keep everything you have, but lift your hand and use your breath, access your core to maintain or deepen your twist. And then unwind. Okay, scooch back, switch the cross of the ankles, same thing, hands down, turn the palms up and lift them. Second side. Inhale tall, exhale, navel in, revolve to the left. Inhale tall, root through your base. Exhale, navel in, continue your journey to the left. One more together, inhale. And exhale. Really riding the breath. Right hand to the outer left knee, left hand behind the back. Sit tall again, lengthen. Exhale, twist. Now do exactly what you were doing, but notice how you might feel tempted to use this arm to crank. See if you can just plant it there. And then test yourself by picking up the hands and continuing to revolve. How can you deepen your twist without forcing anything? This all happens from within. And then slowly unwind. All right, hope you like that twist as much as I do. I feel really good after. So let's find our ways to hands and knees. If you'd like props, I usually have them at the front of my mat, so they're just there if I need them. As you find tabletop pose, take an inhale and pull your chest forward, widen through your collarbones, lift the navel in again. Exhale, round. Press into your palms, into your shins. Inhale, chest forward, reach the tail back. Exhale, round the spine. We'll just do one more. Inhale. And exhale. Shift back, hips to heels. Set yourself up for a really nice extended child's pose. Spreading the fingers wide. Rebounding forearms up away from the ground. And already doing the arms as if this is down dog. Spin those biceps up. Wrap the outer triceps down. Find your way to hands and knees. Lift the heart. Exhale, tuck the toes, lift up and back, downward facing dog. And just pedal out the feet a bit. See how you're feeling. Your feet are hip width. See if you can come up high onto your toes and then just swivel. Drop both of your feet down to the right so those feet are staggered. Keep lifting up through the hips to lengthen both side body evenly. Come back up onto the toes and swivel to the left, staggering the feet, really lifting up through the hips. Come through center, and then shift forward into plank, top of your push-up. Now same thing, as you're here, your feet are hip width. Can you swivel your feet to the right, but keep the weight even in your hands. So pull your chest forward, find your breath. And then come to center plank and swivel the feet to the left. Pull your chest forward. Keep even weight in the hands. Come to center. From plank or from your knees, take care of you. Tip forward and go slow to the floor. Elbows hug the body the whole way down. Reach back through the toes. Take an inhale. Lift your heart and shoulder heads and release. We're going to continue that, but we're going to do it intimidating cobra style. So take those hands out. Come up under the finger pad. Have your fingers in line with your shoulders and bring those elbows up to a nice 90 degrees. Root to the pads of the fingers. Root through the toes. Inhale. Lift your heart. Coil the belly in and up. And release. Again, intimidating cobra. Press through the fingers and toes, lift the navel, lift the heart, and release. I like 3, so we'll do one more. Inhale, lift, navel 2, and release. Hands by your sides, press up hands and knees or plank. Downward facing dog. All right, take a few breaths here. Really root into the palms, lift the navel in and up. Let the head relax. Well, these first few down dogs are never our best. We're not quite as warm. So just see, where do you already feel strong? Where do you might look for some space later in the practice? Let's raise the right leg up to the height of the hip. Inhale. Exhale, knee to nose. Pull the knee high up to the chest. You can always be on hands and knees as well. Inhale the leg back. Exhale the knee to the left arm. Keep the weight even in the hands like we did a moment ago. Inhale the leg back. Exhale, knee to nose. Step the foot next to the right thumb tip. Release the back knee down. Now pat it if you need. You can double your mat over. You have that blanket, whatever you'd like. Reach the arms up for Anjaneyasana. Lift the frontal hip bones. Hands to your heart. Take an inhale. Now exhale as you twist to the right, elbow over the knee. But think of that no hands twist we did where you're not really leveraging with the elbow. Instead, inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, navel in and twist. And then we're going to bring in those cactus arms. So just open your palms as if you're pushing into a ball to the side. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, push the palms from that imaginary wall and twist. Couple breaths. Engage your inner thighs to stabilize. You may notice your pelvis moving. Hands together. Come back to center and lower. Okay, down dog. Take a few breaths here. Let the head relax. Left leg lifts. Inhale. Exhale. Knee to nose. Pull it up high. Inhale the leg back. Exhale, knee crosses to the right arm, but keep the weight even in the hands. You're still in plank. Inhale back. Exhale, knee to nose. Step the foot next to the left thumb tip. Drop the back knee down. Arms rise, Anjaneyasana. Do what you need to protect those back knees. If you need, you can always double the mat over if you don't have any padding. Hands to your heart. Take an inhale. Exhale, twist to the left, elbow over the knee. Watch the leverage. We're not trying to crank. Lengthen the spine on inhale. Exhale, navel in and twist. Use your breath, not the leverage of the arm. Open the palms. See if you can really find those cactus arms. It'll feel a little weird, but we want to sort of focus on that. Even bring that back elbow in a little bit. Couple breaths. Push against that imaginary wall. And unwind. Hands together and bring them down. Down dog. Take a few breaths here, check in. Hide your toes, bend your knees, gaze forward, step or hop, top of the mat. Come up halfway, pull forward with the chest. Exhale. Root to rise, reach the arms to the sky. Palms press, navel in and up. And exhale, hands to heart. Okay, Surya Namaskar A, Sun Salute A. Release the arms down. Take a moment just to find your balance, just to find the stability on your own 2 feet. Thigh bones press back, pubic bone lifts, heart rises as you gaze ahead. Inhale, arms rise, palms press at the top. Exhale, forward fold. Soften the knees on the way down. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, step to plank and pause. Take a moment here, really root through your palms. If you lock out the elbows like I do, give them a tiny micro bend. Tip forward on the toes or knees, lower halfway. See if you can hold chaturanga and really try to keep the shoulder heads lifted. Lower all the way down. Inhale, lift the heart for cobra. Or straighten the arms, lift the thighs and navel, upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. 5 breaths. Hands are shoulder width apart. Feet are hip width apart. Really root through the index finger and the thumb side of the hand. Try to rebound the forearms up away from the ground as you spin biceps forward, triceps back again. The hips lift, front ribs pull in, and press your thigh bones back like we did in our standing pose. Maybe heels meet the floor. High to your toes. Bend your knees, gaze forward, step or hop, top of the mat. Take an inhale, gaze up halfway. Exhale, fold. Root to rise, reach the arms to the sky. Palms press, navel in and up. And exhale, hands to heart. Okay, round 2. Inhale, arms reach. High plant. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale up halfway. Some of you exhale, jump chaturanga, bent elbows. Inhale your back bend. Exhale, down dog. 5 breaths again. Really settle in. Feel yourself rooting through whatever's on the ground and lifting up to that apex, that point at the hips that's lifting. Use this to manage your breath. Inhale to your toes, exhale, bend your knees, step or hop, top of the mat. Inhale up halfway, exhale, fold. Root to rise, reach the arms to the sky, palms press, navel in and up, and exhale, hands to heart. Okay, how are we doing? We have 3 more Surya Namaskar A's. These ones are on your own. If you don't know them, just make them up. We'll meet in our 3rd downward facing dog. Inhale is usually opening. Exhale is usually closing or folding. Follow your breath. You can either jump to chaturanga or step to plank and lower again, yogi's choice. And meter your energy. You may want to save your arms for our peak. You may skip some of those vinyasas or chaturangas. Make this practice about you and what you need today. We're here 3 to 5 breaths in our down dog. Breath stops, movement stops. Slow the breath down to slow the movement down. We're in no rush. You can always be a beat behind and join us when you're ready. Child's pose is always appropriate, especially in these down dogs. We have 1 more round. We meet in your next down dog. Okay, when you get to this down dog, just hang out there a moment, or you can even meet us in child's pose. And in fact, bring your knees to the ground for a moment. Have those arms reaching out in front of you and get yourself set up in an extended child's pose. So some of you are going to do your pose from child's pose. We're going to do a gentle twist, and then others of you will do this from down dog. So those of you that want to stay in child's pose, you're going to take your left hand and weave it under your right and just get a nice outer shoulder stretch. Otherwise, you can find down dog. Really root through the hands, maybe shorten or widen your stance if your feet don't totally root. Root into your right hand, and then take your left hand and reach for your outer right ankle if you can. Press into the remaining limbs. Look under the right armpit. A little twisting dog. And then move to side two, whether you're twisting your child's pose or your down dog. Go ahead and root, take that right hand across, under the armpit, really press into the inner hand. Breathe. You're like me, I lock up my elbows, so I have to really make sure I root into the palm, access the shoulder, so the elbow isn't trying to lock. Okay, come back to center. Down dog if you weren't already there. And then inhale, the right leg lifts. Exhale, step the foot to the center of the hands, directly in the middle. Anchor the back heel down, front heel intersects the back heel. And come on up, warrior two. Okay, and this is all we're gonna do. We're just gonna stay here for a little while. I don't know about you guys, but I need a haircut. I think it's great. All of us get to see what it's like to go a while without some haircuts. It's nice. All right, so see if you can sink in, get a little deeper into your lunge. Let the inner thigh lengthen and the back hip strengthen. Lengthen the side waist evenly. Same twist of the heart. That right ribs move forward, left ribs move back. Couple more breaths. All right, inhale, reverse. Exhale to the floor. Come up onto the back toes and pause in your lunge. And just look forward on your inhale. And exhale, lift up your front toes. Don't worry about dropping the back heel. And just take a wide pyramid. Now hands can also be on blocks if you'd like. Try to pull the right hip back, left hip forward so you're pretty even here in your pose. Shift forward lunge. Left hand on the floor or block, stack right knee over ankle, root through the bottom hand, lift up out of the top, drive out through the back heel. And then some of you I know will want to make this a side plank. You are welcome to if you'd like. Lengthen the bottom waist, tip those top ribs and hip forward and breathe. Plank pose, yogi's choice, vinyasa, set of push-ups or right to down dog. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, step it to the center of the hands, anchor the back heel down. Come on up, warrior two. Take a few moments here, sink in, lengthen the inner thigh, strengthen the back. Try to level the pelvis without squaring the hips and revolve the ribs. Couple breaths. Even here you can practice that no hands twist. The ribs are moving just a little bit, so pull right ribs back, left ribs forward. Feel the ribs rotating and lengthening up evenly the sides of the waist. Inhale, reverse. Exhale to the floor. Come up onto the back toes and you maybe readjust so your front knee stacks over your ankle. And then hinge back, pick up the front toes, wide pyramid, and breathe. Shift forward, root through the right palm. Lift up that back leg as you drive out through the heel. Heart forward. As you root down through the palm, send that top arm high. A lot of times we sink into the hips, so see if you can lift it. And then yogi's choice. If you wanted that side plank, go with it. Find your breath. Lengthen the bottom waist. Tip the top hip forward. Breathe. All right, bring your hand down. Yogi's choice. We'll meet in down dog. Inhale, high to your toes. Exhale, bend your knees, step or hop, top of the mat. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, fold. This time, bend your knees, drop your seat, chair pose, send the arms high. Shift the weight back, the weight is in the heels, lift the navel, couple of breaths. Root through your heels and rise. Tadasana, arms by your sides. Okay, how are you feeling? We're going to move into a twisting chair, and then we're going to take this into Surya Namaskar, be slow. So feet are together, big toes touch, little space between the heels. Take an inhale, sit back into chair. Hands to your heart, sink back, lengthen your spine, inhale. Exhale, twist to the right, elbow over the knee. Lengthen your spine, pull it forward. Belly in, try not to use the arm, use the abdominals, and maybe even try to press into that imaginary wall. Can you bring that right elbow in a little bit, heart forward, right hip back. And then unwind, forward fold. Bend your knees, drop your seat, chair pose, bring those arms up. Hands to your heart, inhale, exhale, twist. Again, try not to crank elbow and knee, instead lengthen the spine, drop your seat lower. And as you pull your chest through, maybe try to find those arms again. Push into that imaginary wall, drive that belly forward, and maybe hug that top elbow in. And unwind. Whew. Forward fold should feel nice. Grab your elbows and just hang. Switch the clasp. Release the hands, heel toe back together. Bend your knees, drop your seat, chair, and rise. Arms by your sides. Okay, as promised, a slow Surya B. We'll hold in Warrior One. Inhale, chair. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, step or jump back. Vinyasa. Or if you want to skip it, just meet us in down dog. Step your right foot next to your right thumb tip. Boost your back foot up as you pivot it down. Rise, Warrior One. Sink into your lunge. Lift your frontal hip bones. Lengthen the sides of the waist evenly. Sink into your lunge. Gaze up, palms pressed. Bring your hands down to the floor. Step to plank, flow, or skip it, we meet in down dog. Left foot steps next to the left thumb tip. Don't just drop the heel down, that ends up being too narrow. You've got to move that right foot over to the right and up a little bit. Warrior One, Virabhadrasana One. Couple breaths. Gaze up, palms pressed. Hands to the floor, step to plank. Vinyasa, we'll meet in down dog. 5 breaths here. Inhale, high to your toes. Exhale, bend your knees, step or hop. Top of the mat, come up halfway. Forward fold. Bend your knees, drop your seat chair. Root to rise. Arms by your sides. Okay, how are we doing? We building a little heat? I know I am, but I think it's my holiday sunburn. So let's get ourselves set up for a nice couple of standing poses. We'll continue this. So if you have blocks, if that's working for you, grab your 2 blocks, set them at the top of your mat. Take your feet hip width apart. We're going to move into Parsvottanasana. Hands on hips. Step your left foot back, much shorter than our other stances. So I'm going to say 3 feet or so. Square your hips forward. Root through your feet and lift up through the pelvis. Find length, inhale. Exhale, hinge and fold. Just place your hands either on the floor or blocks, framing your front foot. Make sure the back heel is rooted. It's not like that wide pyramid. We want both feet down. Pull your chest forward. Find length in your spine. Left hand can move in just a little bit closer. Place your right thumb in your right hip crease. Pin it back. Pull your chest forward. They encourage you to move super slow. We're in no rush to get where we're going. So take your right hand. Once you press the hip back, place your hand on your lower back. Pull your breastbone forward. Find that length. And then move slow. Think of that no hands twist. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, slowly revolve. But try to keep your low back flat without forcing it. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, slowly revolve. No hands. Pull that right hip into the center. Press the thighs back. And then maybe take that top arm up. A few of you may step that hand to the outer block, the outside of the foot. But wherever you are, lengthen and twist slowly. Move with your breath. Revolve triangle, Parivrtta Trikonasana. Okay, bring it down. Gaze forward, hands on hips. Lead with your heart and come on up to stand. Back foot up. And I can guarantee my second side is not going to feel as open. Feet are hip width, right steps back. So again, make sure you're going back maybe 3 feet, 3.5, not too wide. Hands on your hips, square them forward. Lift your chest, inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Take your hands either on the blocks or the floor, but we want to square the pelvis. So pull the left hip back, move the right hip forward. Make sure the back heel is rooted. Even weight in both feet. Pull your chest forward, find length. Maybe that right hand can move in a little bit. And if you're like me, the second side is harder. A couple of reasons. My left hamstrings are much tighter, and my ability to rotate my ribs on the side is much more challenged. So think less about trying to get that arm up and more about just working the steps of the breath. So inhale, chest forward as you seal the back heel down. Anchor that left hip with the left hand. Pull the chest forward your next inhale. And then exhale, go as slow as you can, revolving. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, revolve. Hand on the low back, make sure it's staying flat. Pull the chest forward. And again, it may not be as satisfying. You may feel like you really want to take that arm up. But can you work that no hands twist? Heart forward, belly in and twist. Maybe that tarp arm up. See how mine doesn't want to go as far? That's fine. Pull the chest forward, revolve. Whew. Anchor that back heel. Notice how it wants to leave. Can you pull your chest even more through? Use your ribs. Twist a little bit more. Breathe. Almost there. And release. Whew, we did it. All right, pull your chest forward. Hands to your hips. Lead with your heart. Come on up. And step forward. Okay, nice job, yogis. So take an inhale, sit back into chair. And then just keep sitting, keep sitting, keep sitting, keep sitting, keep sitting. Okay, all the way down. Don't get too excited, we're not done. Just find your way on your seat. We'll do a little bit of core. Sit as tall as you can, find length. And notice we don't want to round back on our sacrum, we want to sit up on the levelness of our sit bones. Pull your chest up, hands under the knees, and find Shavasana. Just take a moment here, hug the thighs together, point or flex the feet, whatever's going to make you sort of really access the inner thighs, and bring those arms out. Okay, lift your chest, and then take your arms over to the right. Press the outer arm against the thigh, lift your chest. Breathe. Come through center, over to the left, resist. Lift the chest, find your breath. Come through center, grab onto the legs, and rest. Okay. Back to your little half boat here, lift your chest. Take your arms out, lift your heart, move to the right, just the torso, press the outer arm against the thigh, lift the chest. Come through center, lift the heart, move to the left, press the outer arm against the thigh, lift the chest a little bit more. Come to center, hold the backs of the thighs this time, bring the soles of the feet together. Just take a mini rest in butterfly. Stretch those inner thighs. All right. Sit tall, maybe fold in. Just giving our body a chance to rest before we take some finishing postures. Just for the Vinyasa part anyway. All right. Bring yourself up. Bring the legs together. Keep your feet on the floor. Sit as tall as you can. So same thing we kind of did. So take a moment and reach the right arm up. Zipper the thighs together. Bring that right arm behind you. Lift high. And then take the outside of the left arm against the thigh. Squeeze them together. Press the palm into that imaginary wall. Lift the chest. Now really press the outer arm and that thigh together. Sit as tall as you can, and then bring this other arm up, draw the elbow in, push your palms into that imaginary wall, lift your chest, squeeze the thighs together and breathe. If you feel like it, tip back, maybe lift the feet, breathe. And lower, and come back. Okay, I don't know about you, I've been hiking a lot, so this is very challenging in my hip flexors, but we'll take care of that in the yin part of our practice. Okay, so sit up tall, zipper the legs together, find length, send the left arm high, open, place the fingertips behind you, and then cross. Again, we're not cranking, just plant that elbow there. Lift your chest, and this may be it. This is plenty. This is a lot of work, honestly. Squeeze the thighs together, lift the chest, and then see if you can add that other arm. Hug that elbow in. So it's a little exaggerated, but I want you to feel that because that's going to help us in a moment. Lift your chest. I don't know, this side is my harder side, so maybe this is it. We can tip back. Can you squeeze the thighs to get them to lift? Breathe. And release. Okay, good job, yogis. One more butterfly, and then we'll do our peak pose. All right, sit tall, or maybe you feel like folding. Yogi's choice. Okay, come all the way back, bring the legs together, and we're going to move into a side crow. And even if you just do the first steps, that's important. And I'm sure you may be over the twisting by now, so we'll sort of let this be one of our last ones. So we'll come up to standing. You can face any way you'd like. I'm just turning to the back of the mat so that you can see me. And we're going to work all the steps that we did earlier. Now, when we move into the balance, we're just going to be on the one arm, so the other arm has to come in. We have to bring that elbow in like we've been doing this whole practice. So you can watch first, or you can do it with me. We're moving into side crow, Parsva. So feet are together, sit back into chair, Utkatasana. Bring your hands to your heart, inhale, and exhale, twist. Elbow over the knee, lengthen the spine, twist, and you might even just open the arms. Maybe this is your pose. Drop your seat, pull the chest forward. Okay, now we're just going to be on this arm that's against the knee. This other arm is elbow that wants to come in. So come onto your toes, bring your hands to the floor, squeeze the knees together. Lean forward like you're going to move into Chaturanga, bring the right elbow in. And then when you're ready, lean, hug those feet, lift, breathe, smile, and lower. Okay, how do we do? I got a good crack out of that. I don't know about you. Let's go ahead and do the other side unless you want to try that one again. Feet are together. Inhale, sit back chair. Hands to your heart, inhale. Exhale, twist left, elbow over knee. Lengthen the spine, inhale, exhale, twist. Losing balance. You can stay or you can open up the arms. Or maybe this side. Keep that arm against the outer knee. Elbows draw in. It's just like Chaturanga. You're just on that right arm. Lean forward. Think of the shoulder heads. Now as you shift forward, squeeze the thighs together. Use that to lift the feet. One more breath. And release. Okay, how'd we do? Good news is we are done with all of that. So pat on the back. Good job. Grab your block or whatever you've decided to use. And good news, it's yin time. So I'll find my little timer here and we will get started. Okay, so place your block or other prop under your pelvis. Take your legs into the air. And if you don't have a prop, pardon me, you could do legs up the wall. If you have a headstand practice you're real comfortable with, you're welcome to take that. Otherwise, we're going to be here just 2 minutes. Okay, so I have a timer on my phone. It's called Insight Timer. It'll give us a nice bell. Just notice how you feel. We've been doing a lot of twists. This really opens up the thoracic. So you may notice that heartbeat. You may have noticed a little increase in heat in the body. So remember, we are working that digestive center, Manipura. And it's through our heat that we begin to break things down, just like our tapas, right? Our vehicle for change. So we heat things, we begin to change. Whether we're becoming more pliable, more flexible. And that flexibility can be in the mind. It's not always in the body, which is fine. And just enjoying the sort of shift. Bringing the attention to the heart, the lungs, the brain. We got about 5 breaths left. All right, so if you're in a prop like I am, bend your knees, plant your feet on the floor for bridge. If you're in something like headstand, take a child's pose first, and then you can come onto your back for bridge. If you're in legs up the wall, you can take a little twist and then find your way to the same place. So wherever you are, take a moment. You can be just in this supported bridge if you'd like. Or you can hold the edges of the mat, draw those arm bones underneath you, root into the feet, and take a nice bridge. And always in these bridges, just listen. Don't ever turn your head to look at me. Or anyone else, but just root. Maybe you move that prop away. You can interlace the hands underneath you. Or you can stay on that prop if you want to have a nice supported bridge. If you have a prop still there, remove it and slowly paint the spine down one vertebrae at a time until you hit your pelvis slowly down. Feet are wide, windshield wiper the knees side to side. And then drop both of your knees to the left. So if your knees are together, this is not going to be great on your lower back. And this already can be kind of compromising. So make sure your feet are as wide as the mat. Drop your knees left. I like to lean a little bit more left and really point the right kneecap away from you so it feels like it's more length. You also have props that you can throw under the knees if you'd like. So again, really take care of you. Maybe you extend the arms back. So just continuing the side body stretch, but getting more into the front thigh. And we'll set our timer here. We'll be here those same 2 minutes. Just notice how you feel. We always do twists the same way first. We twist to the right, then to the left. So we sort of work the digestive tract in a nice clockwise fashion. So we work the way we digest. The ascending colon, transverse, and then descending. So sort of moving everything down and out as it should. Sometimes in these practices, you may find you have to run to the restroom a few times, and that's good. No worries. Or letting go, releasing what we no longer need. Some of you can take this deeper, maybe into a half reclined hero or adding any other variations you'd like. Less than a minute left. Okay, saved by the bell. Move slow. Come to center. Your feet are as wide as the mat. It's nice to take a moment to pause, just sort of have a rest. And then again, windshield wiper the knees. And eventually drop your knees to the right. And we'll use our 2 minutes on this side. And maybe you extend back. The idea is you want to feel this in the front of the hip and down the thigh, but not as compression or any sort of discomfort in the lower back. And so yin is always about target area, less about specific pose. So any pose you do that's going to stretch the front thigh, get into the hip flexors is nice. Let's see if here you can start to close the eyes, slowing down the heartbeat, slowing down the mind. And actively slowing the breath. Notice where the mind goes. If it flows away from the moment, just recognize that. Come back to the breath. Come back to the sensation of the pose. Easy to wander, but just as easy to come back. If there's any shoulder sensitivity, you can always release those arms. We've got 5 breaths left. Move slow to center, take your time. Winch away for the knees again. And just let the knees fall into one another, feet wide. Place your hands at your lower belly and close your eyes. And take an inhale into the lower belly, let the hands rise. And exhale, drive the belly down to the mat. Tiny pelvic tilt, don't accentuate it. Inhale, belly lifts into the hands. Exhale, drive it down to the mat. One more. All right. Find your way up to seated, whatever works for you. Go slow. And we're going to start to move into pigeon pose. Now, pigeon's not for everyone. So if that's not for you, take something like thread the needle. Thread the needle isn't something you've heard of. Just cross right ankle over left knee. It might be nice to stay in your back even, especially with twists. Sometimes they can compromise the back. So this is a nice alternative if you prefer. Otherwise, bring yourself up. You can slide that right shin forward. I'm using a blanket just because I've got it. And find your way into a nice single leg pigeon. And we'll start to increase our time as we're sort of winding down now. So we'll do 3 minutes, but we'll add on here at the end. So the idea with yin is that it's not necessarily restorative. You may find this part of the practice much more challenging, but it's still work. Just like you pushed yourself to work hard in your poses, you may have to push yourself to be present and use that power of the mind to stay mindful and present. And so you can think of this section as sort of training the mind just as you train the body. Physical practice of yoga, maybe yoga like we might know it, is really to help prepare the body for meditation. Get all that fidgeting out, we get the body healthy. And so yin is sort of the next step. It's sort of still moving towards meditation. Or things to focus on. You can focus on the sensation in the body, the breath. Maybe fidgeting a little like I am, but eventually try to find your stillness. About 90 seconds left. In the last 30 seconds, if you're in thread the needle, you're welcome to drop your leg unit to the left. It kind of combines a twist and thread the needle. Or if you're in pigeon pose, it may feel good to lift up. You can stay there or reach for the back ankle. It may feel nice to continue that stretch of the front thigh. About 5 breaths left. Okay, move slow, side 2. Whatever pose you're in, take your journey there. Again, we'll do that 3 minutes, and I'll give you sort of that halfway point in 30 seconds. Remainder. Again, commit to stillness. If it's not this pose or thread the needle, take something else that serves you. Close the eyes. Move away from those external distractions. All right, we're halfway through, about 90 seconds left. Make changes if you need. But I like the timer. Some poses feel like they take forever, some sides, so we know the timer doesn't change. It's just our perception. All right. If you took that variation on side 1, take it here. What you want to do, you reach for the ankle or add your twist. Unwind, take that back leg around. And find your way onto your seat. We'll take our finishing postures and then enjoy a nice Shavasana. Okay, so find your way onto your seat and then cross middle of the shins in Sukhasan. So not at the ankles, which kind of makes the legs like a heart, but middle of the shins if you want to get your feet underneath your knees. Really flex your feet. This is quite challenging. It's a little bit doesn't make sense, a little oxymoron. So this is called Sukhasan or easy pose, and I find it the most challenging pose. You may as well. So if you'd rather do double pigeon, if you'd rather do a split leg stretch, that's fine. We're coming up on the ends of our poses here. So we'll just do 2 minutes again as we're winding down. And you can sit on this blanket and shift back as you begin to shift forward. So just take a few breaths here. Close the eyes. And we'll add breath for this last minute. So in and out through the nose. And we'll breathe in through the nose for 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause. Exhale out the nose. 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause. Okay, again on your own. Inhale for 4. Exhale for 4. A couple more cycles on your own. Okay, back yourself out. Let's switch sides. Cross that other leg in front. Flex through the heels. Start to shift forward. All right, winding down our last few poses. So really allow your breath to find that nice even pattern. In for 4, out for 4. And if you want to continue to slow down, you might bring it out for 6. So in for 4, out for 6. Use your breath as a tool to relax, to calm, to center. About a minute left. Yourself up and take a few moments to take any finishing poses you'd like a seated forward fold, a happy baby, if you want that remaining twist. So take a few moments. We'll meet in Shavasana shortly. Just enjoy your finishing poses. To set yourself up for Shavasana in a way that serves you. And we'll be in our Shavasana about 3 minutes. I'll use the timer just so we can relax. You don't be worried about when it starts and stops. Okay, we've arrived. Shavasana. Good job, everyone. All right, so get comfortable. If you need that extra couple poses on your back, take them. And when you're ready, close the eyes, settle in. Let the jaw slack, the tongue relax in the mouth, the eyes soften. And just bring your attention inward. Are you able to digest, to process this experience? What parts of it will you keep with you, take with you after it's over? And where can you just leave the rest here on the mat, no longer needed? Shavasana. Start to come back to the body. Reach the arms overhead, maybe yawn. Bend your knees. Make your way onto your side. And with the eyes closed, press yourself upright to seated. Hands to your heart in gratitude for all the work and effort you've put into you today. Lift your heart, bow your head. Namaste.